Hello everyone. Today we are going to have a look at Ruskin Bond's A Short Monsoon Diary. Before we start with the story, it's important to know a little about our author. So who is Ruskin Bond? Ruskin Bond is a writer who lives in Dehradun. His writings are set in small towns at the foothills of the Himalayas. They reveal his love for the simple life in the mountains. At 17, he started writing his first novel, The Room on the Roof, which went on to win the John Llewellyn Rhys Prize in 1957. This prize is awarded to British Commonwealth writers under 30. Bond has also received the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1992 for the novel Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, the Padma Shri 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. You might have watched some of the films adapted from Ruskin Bond's books. His novella, A Flight of Pigeons, was turned into 1978 film Junoon, directed by Shyam Benegal. Similarly, Saat Khoon Maaf was made from the novel Susanna's Seven Husbands. Ek Tha Rusty is a Doordarshan serial based on his popular Rusty series. The extract that we shall discuss today has been taken from a few pages of Bond's personal diary. Let us now follow his diary entries. The entries span the period from June to March. The entry dated June 24th describes the first monsoon mist which wraps the hills in silence. It has a mystical quality. The author can hear a person named Bidju calling for his sister, but he is not visible because of the mist. On 25th June, Bond reports on the weather again. It rains in the hills round the year. However, Bond tells us how to distinguish the monsoon rain from the cold rain which falls during the rest of the year. The monsoon rain is warm and humid. The plants too sense the arrival of monsoons in the hills. The first cobra lily is raising its head from the ferns. The mist had heralded a night-like hush the previous day. Now it seems to offer a kind of privacy to the author. Bond describes the hill station and valley as a paradise that might have been, in a reply to a schoolboy's question. The diary entry, dated June 27th, introduces a slight change in the tone of the narrative. The hush of the misty monsoon is broken by animals which do not usually show up at other times of the year. Leopard attacks on domestic animals become a regular occurrence. Besides, the author is pestered by leeches sucking his blood. Even the leafy trees cannot hide the scarlet minivets. There are so many in number. The aggressive drongos chase them away. Birds and tree creepers feast on the abundance of insects during the rainy season. On 2nd August, the writer reports the steady rhythm of the rain. This rhythm is very unobtrusive. It allows you to stay awake or fall asleep, as you may wish. The sound of the rain on the corrugated tin roof helps the writer read. He does not get wet in the rain but can feel it around him all the same. On August 3rd, Bond records a time when the rain stops temporarily. Sunlight illuminates the scenes from daily life. Life had almost reached a standstill because of the rains. Sounds like the tinkle of cowbells become audible again. The clear voice of a thrush fills the valley. On 12th August, the rains return accompanied by the mist. The author no longer appreciates the rain as before. He is tired of being confined to his room because of the rain. The only saving grace is that the rain still retains its monsoon warmth. Bond records the growth of late monsoon flowers like the wild balsams, dahlias, begonias and ground orchids. The diary entry on 31st August declares the end of monsoons. An abundance of flowers and lush green growth fill the hills. Animals like snakes and rodents resurface from their holes and burrows. The children are amused by a shrew who blindly bowls around the room. Their grandmother calls the shrew Chuchundar and stops them from killing it. She says the Chuchundar brings good luck. The author too mischievously wonders if the shrew has something to do with the check he receives in the mail. I'm sure you know that killing harmless animals is treated as a criminal offense and prohibited by the law. Here's a question for you. Do you think the children should have killed the shrew if it had no association with good luck? We shall leave you to think over this problem as we continue with Bond's diary. On October 3rd, the writer records the transition from monsoon to winter rains. He mentions snow at high altitudes and evening hailstorms. The hills are often beautifully touched with golden light in spite of bad weather. The entry on 26th January is in the form of a poem. The writer is engulfed in a spell of darkness and loneliness thanks to the rain. Winter rains in the hills. In the hushed silence of the house when I'm quite alone and my friend who was here has gone, it is very lonely, very quiet, as I sit in a liquid silence, a silence within, surrounded by the rhythm of rain, the steady drift of water on leaves, on lemons, on roof, drumming on drenched dahlias and window panes, while the mist holds the house in a dark caress. As I pause near a window, the rain stops and starts again, and the trees, no longer green but grey, menace me with their loneliness. Phrases used in the poem like dark chorus and menacing grey leaves tell us that the rain has altered its lavish tone to a grave one. The poem reinforces the sense of melancholy and loneliness that the poet seems to suffer. Perhaps this feeling is what lies at the heart of any art form and its creation. The last entry is on 23rd March when hailstorms spell the end of winter. Bond can see a rainbow forming as he writes, signifying that there is hope and joy yet in the lap of nature. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. See you all in our recap and question and answer videos.